Architects, branding is very important to the success of your firm. Even if you don't like the word branding and you think that since you're a service-oriented business, you don't need a brand. Trust me, you do, and you already have one whether you like it or not. Your brand and your reputation comes down to what others are saying about you when you are not in the room. You can't necessarily control that, but you can certainly steer the conversation towards what you want to be known for. Marketing is also misunderstood. Marketing is not selling. It's not advertising. Sure, those may be tangential components, but marketing in today's world is putting your message out there into the world to attract the people that you want to work with and the people who want to do business with you. Now, there are different ways to go about this, but what it comes down to is talking about the things that are important to you and important to your business. How you want to work, what you want to work on, and the people that you want to work with. If you can do that successfully, then the people who believe the same things that you believe will want to work with you and your firm. And the people who don't fit within that vision will steer clear and they won't waste your time. You may be saying, that's great, Chris, but I'm busy working on projects and running my firm. How am I supposed to find the time to do all of this and stay consistent with it? But that's the wrong question to be asking. You shouldn't be asking yourself, how are you going to get it all done? You should be asking, who can help you get it all done? Now, there are certainly a lot of marketing firms out there. There's website developers, blogging consultants, social media experts. You can choose from any one of them. I'm sure there's plenty in your city or your region. And if you decide to go with any one of those firms, you will probably have better success than you can achieve on your own. But the thing is, an architect's website, an architect's social media messaging, it's different than other professions. An architect's website shouldn't be the same as a lawyer's website. An architect's social media posts and what we talk about isn't the same as what a dentist would put out there in their social media posts. So you can choose the generic marketing firm and get some results, or you can choose to work with a marketing and branding agency that specializes in working with architects, that knows the unique challenges of our business, that knows the unique challenges of finding the right clients. And this is why almost 2 years ago, I decided to start working with ArchMark. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my backstory and the process of working with ArchMark and some of the results that I've seen, but first I want to make a few things clear. Number one, this is not a paid advertisement or an affiliate promotion. I do not gain anything financially if you decide to work with ArchMark. ArchMark did not ask me to create this video. I'm doing this simply because I've enjoyed working with them so much and I've seen positive results in my firm that I want other architects to have the same success. I want other architects to be able to put their messaging out and free up more time to work with clients and take these tasks that we're not specialized in, take them off of our plate. So let's start with a little bit about my website and social media backstory. When I first started my firm, I knew the importance of having a good website and I knew the importance of having a strong social media presence. I was a follower of Gary Vee and Pat Flynn and all the different types of people who talk about strategies to get your message out there to the right types of clients. But just starting out in my firm, trying to keep overhead to an absolute minimum, I decided to do it all myself. So I started off with a WordPress website. I paid all the fees, I got the domain, I got everything set up, got it up and running, but guess what? I don't know computer coding, and so I browsed the endless amounts of templates until I found one that was decent. I paid for the template, and somehow I figured out how to get it installed and launched. And there was still a fair bit of basic coding that was required, but I was able to scrap it together using online tutorials. But you know what? This website never really looked or never really functioned the way that I wanted it to. And I had this plan that I was going to dedicate 2 hours every Monday morning to updating this website and adding to it and refining it and learning more about coding and web development. And I figured that eventually it would get to the point where I would be happy with it. Now, do you think that plan worked? Nope. So what actually happened is I did that for a few weeks, but then got busy doing project work, and it sat half finished for years. The next thing that I did, sort of concurrently with launching that first website, was to start a blog. I knew the importance of getting your thoughts out there for people to read, even if blogging at that time wasn't as popular as it had been in the early 2000s. My plan was to write at least one blog per month. So I brainstormed topics, set time aside on my schedule, and I actually went through and wrote the first 3 blog posts. And then I never did anything after that. For years, those 3 lonely blogs sat there alone, and I'm not even sure if anyone even read them. After a few years of this, I said to myself that I need to dedicate some time and get a better looking website, maybe one that was easier to add to and change. So I switched from WordPress to Squarespace. And for me, this was a great move. Squarespace was easier to make the website look how I wanted it to. And even if Squarespace is very limited on what you can do design-wise, and it was relatively simple to add projects and make updates, I was happy. The website looked better, and I thought I was going to get some more traffic. About at the same time, I had been taking some courses and training and reading up more on branding. I read Donald Miller's Building a Story Brand. I took the Build Your Brand course through ArchMark, and I learned that websites should not be about you and your firm. I mean, yes, you have to show your expertise, but your website and even your About You page should be all about your clients and what their needs are and how you solve your problems. I think too many architects make a portfolio-based website of nothing but these flashy images and buzzwords that mean absolutely nothing to potential clients. A potential client doesn't care at all that you won some local AIA design award or that your team has a collective 683 years of experience. They only care about how you can help them get their desired results. Now, I also don't claim to be an SEO expert. Years ago, it seemed that you could simply plug in your location and add some tags and keywords, and then Google would magically find you when people searched. And you know what? This isn't the case anymore. And from my very basic understanding, the way that Google and other search engines actually find search results these days is by scanning through long-form written content to find relevant information that people are searching for. So while blogging as a way to build up an audience or create a following of people that read every article you publish might be dead, blogging as a way to answer the questions your clients are searching for is very much alive and should be very much part of your strategy. All this was on the top of my mind when I attended the EntreArchitect Community annual meeting in 2022. At that conference, there was an amazing workshop hosted by Brian McCartney of ArchMark, 90 Days in 90 Minutes. During this session, Brian took us through a series of exercises to identify the single most important problem in our business at that moment, and then devise a strategy of what you can do in the next 90 days to address it. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't have other challenges in your business or other things that you need to implement, but to focus on the one largest thing and to move the needle on that item to push your business forward. Before I attended this workshop, I had heard of Brian McCartney and ArchMark before. I had heard him speak on many podcasts, and I had attended several online workshops that he hosted. I knew that ArchMark was a marketing and branding agency that focuses specifically on the needs of architects, and I know that Brian has done a lot of talking about how architects can best set up and utilize LinkedIn as a strategy, and that they have a team that helps architects with blogging and optimizing their website. So I knew all this before I attended that workshop. But after the workshop, I got to talking with Brian and his wife Kelly about the various services that they offer, my goals and my struggles, and how they might be able to help me. When I returned from the conference, I explored their website a bit and found many of the free resources they have available. They have a free website audit where you can enter in your website and you'll get a free audit of how that website is performing. They have guidebooks that are available for how to implement SMART goals, what should be on your website's homepage, the different types of content you can create to communicate your value, and how to best optimize your LinkedIn profile. I highly recommend that you go and check out all of these free resources. Then I explored their blog a little bit, where the articles are all about steps that you can take to improve your architecture business. Again, there are amazing resources here that you should go and read. It was at this point that I made a choice. I could either continue to try to do it all by myself and get really excited about implementing a new strategy, attack it with enthusiasm just for a few weeks and then fizzle out and return to ignoring it. Or I can make the investment in myself and the investment in my firm and start working with ArchMark. As I said in the beginning, it's been almost 2 years now that I've been working with ArchMark. The revenue in my business is up. I'm attracting better clients. My website looks so much better and performs a lot better. Website traffic is way up, and I have strategies to cultivate relationships with my best clients and to push away the people that it doesn't make sense for me to work with. Working together with ArchMark, we create blogs that are published consistently, are written so much better than I could do on my own, and they make regular social media posts for me on LinkedIn and Facebook. When I first started working with them, we went through a series of workshops similar to the story branding framework, but that are geared towards architecture firms. Before any of these workshops, there's a series of meetings where we discussed goals and struggles, and I filled out a detailed questionnaire, and this was all designed for ArchMark to not only to get to know me and my firm better, but to also help define my voice and my positioning within the marketplace. And it helps them to set up the strategies that are going to be implemented. The next step was to redesign my website. We first had several meetings to discuss designs, things I liked and disliked about my current website. We looked at sample websites that I liked, and we had several discussions on how the website should function. Remember, your website is not for you. It is for your clients. If you're looking for a website that's going to impress other architects, then you might be doing it wrong. And unless you are so well known that you have clients beating down your door, then your website needs to clearly communicate the value that you can provide to your clients, and they need to be able to see themselves in your process. Once the new website was up and running, we transitioned into content creation mode. ArchMark offers different levels of service, and the one that I selected includes regular blog posts and social media posts on Facebook and LinkedIn to support the messaging in the blogs, as well as regular strategy meetings and sessions where we review the website and blog performance. They set up the Google Business Profile, they do regular website updates as new projects can be added, and so much more. If you want to know the best way that ArchMark can help you, just go to their website and go to the section where you can apply for a free clarity call. The process for creating the blogs is also very straightforward. First off, all the work that we did in those initial meetings has set the tone and the voice for the written content that they create. Then you meet with one of the ArchMark team members to strategize blog topics for the next 3 to 6 months. I meet with Emily Fisher, and she's great. We talk about the potential topics, how it can help steer the direction that I want to take my firm, and she always has some great suggestions for me. Then what Emily does is she'll create a draft blog for me to review. I look it over, I make some changes where I feel they're necessary, and oftentimes I'm asking for her advice on how a change in the wording will sound or how it may affect the searchability of the blog. Once the blog is vetted, it's scheduled for publishing, and then the team members who handle the social media post get started creating a series of graphics that support the content in the blog. Oftentimes, these graphics will have quotes from the blog or main points or a list of action items for your potential client. These social media posts are then sent for me to review, and then once they get approved, they get scheduled and published. Working with ArchMark, I have a much nicer and higher performing website than I could ever achieve by myself. My firm is more visible on Google and other search platforms. I have long-form blog content being published on a consistent basis that is not only better than what I could write by myself, but is also focused on the long-term plans that I have for my firm. And then social media posts that support the information in the blog. And these social media posts are a great companion to the posts that I create on my own. All of this is done and it frees up my time to work on design. It frees up my time to help my clients and to run my business and allows me to keep my projects moving forward. And I don't have to worry thinking about if I will have the time to write the next blog article or to update my website with a new project. Working with ArchMark is an investment, and like every investment, there can be a nice payoff. For me, working with ArchMark has directly resulted in a higher visibility to my potential clients that I want to work with. It has resulted in increased revenue for my firm and increased time for myself. Even by just getting one extra client per year, that more than pays for all of their services. I highly recommend working with ArchMark. Go to their website, which is archmark.co. Explore the free resources, get a free website audit, and then apply for a free clarity call. You won't be disappointed.